Alright, so I'm doing another video on issues with the Manticore, that issues I think it has. So I'm on the Dankowski detector forum, and I've been on this forum for 16 years. And Thomas Dankowski is a engineer. He was instrumental in working on the Manticore, and so this is about as close as I can get to short of calling Minelab and talking to somebody in the office or out in the shop. So it was brought up on my first video from Pigeon Blood Ruby about the menu not being circular, and so I just want to show you here what I was talking about a few months ago. Okay, so you're going to see January 19th of 23, Steve G. Says, Ozzy, yep, it's clear a ton of thought went into how to set up the menu system to be natural, logical, easy to navigate as possible. Excellent. And so Dankowski came back and said, yeah, we used the Kith method and, made it as simple as possible. I came back on the 19th, and I agreed. I really like the menu system as well. No submenus. However, I would like to see the menu as circular, not linear. That means, just keeps looping. And so Tom came back and said, we thought about this and decided against it because, in full caps, if the menu were to wrap around, many lesser experienced folks would perceive that menu goes on and on and on and on forever, not knowing that they are going back over the same menus again in a wraparound fashion. I respect Tom's explanation on that, but if you're gonna go, I don't know how many different menu items there's probably 10 or 12, but if you're an idiot that goes on and on and on wrapping around, and about the third day of trying to get through the menu you keep seeing volume coming up, you've got bigger problems than trying to figure out a menu system. So I disagree with that. All menus over 3 should wrap around. If you have a menu with 3 items, you can easily go up and down through them. But any more than that, just make it circular. So I brought that up January 19th. Pretty much wasn't really even going to look at that because they've already talked about it. So that's that one. Alright, so on January 18th on Dankowski, I'm posting on here because that's as close as I can get to a Minelab engineer, which that's what Tom is. So I wrote on here on the 18th, why not give us 4 global discrimination patterns? We have global Ferris patterns, but why not discrimination patterns? And that's what I went over on my first video. Anyway, so that was brought up, and a couple other things. Why limit it just to 4? And when you scroll through custom Ferris pattern 1, 2, 3, and 4, the front page image does not change, showing you the pattern. You must open it up to see the pattern. That was I put that in my first video here too. So I brought these issues up, which I consider issues, January 18th, and Thomas came back. Basically, I am correct. Your requests are noted and being reviewed. So that was the 18th. Alright, so on February 8th of 23, I wrote, if it's so important to long press noise cancel, why not extend the time for a single cycle? Tom and a lot of people, and I've experienced it, when you hold the noise cancel on, it takes about 3, 4, or 5 cycles before your noise cancel, settles on one number or within one number. So 3 to 5 cycles, it normally gets it. So why even have a short press? The noise cancel on the Manticore is so quick, you could have it go through the length of 5 single presses or 5 cycles by holding the button on by one push, and it would still noise cancel way faster than the Equinox or the etrac. So why not at least extend it 3 cycles for one push? So anyway, so Tom's answer basically was the long press is undetermined. But I mean, if 1 isn't good enough, then 2 is better and 3 is even better. So why not make it when you push it, it goes through, say, 5 cycles, and if that's not good enough, push it again. But that would keep some people from having issues with noise canceling when they don't even know about the long press. So I don't understand that either. Okay, so this is what we're talking about as far as this menu goes, about being circular. So you're in the search mode, then you want to make a change in one of your menu settings. So you hit menu and you go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, at 12, maybe I want to go back to volume, but if I keep pushing up, it won't wrap around circular, so I have to go back down. Now, there is a somewhat of a shortcut, is if you just hold your press and hold, it does go through it, but that's really not a good way of doing it. If you just made it circular, little things like that. That's probably why I'm getting some thumbs down on my video, because I still think it's a good machine, but if you talk a little bit bad about something, you get the old thumbs down. But hey, I'm just throwing it out there. The other thing that I didn't talk about, and I haven't said anything on the forums, and I used to think it was stupid, but I think it's more important now than it was years ago, is there's room here. Go ahead and put a clock up there. Put the time up there. I know there's a clock in here. I guarantee you there's a clock in here. Just give me a readout up there. I don't need a alarm or anything like that, but there's a lot of times metal detecting time is like fishing time, it's like internet time, it goes like that. So when you tell your wife you're going to be home in 2 hours to eat, or you snuck out one day and you're like, I got to get home and put the ham in the oven so my wife don't know I've been out detecting, and then you forget to look at your cell phone or your watch, and I hate wearing watches. Having a clock up here could keep us out of a lot of trouble. So it'd be so simple. Alright, so I made a video of a issue I found with the lower iron limits. You go to discriminate something out and it won't work. That's it in a nutshell. So right here it is, Minelab Manticore iron issue. Am I right? So I didn't say anything on my first video because I already made a video, but some of you may not have known I made a video about this. So anyway, it would be a good one to go see and to leave a comment and see if I'm right, if I'm wrong, whatever. But so I brought this up on Dankowski on February 2nd of 23, and I said, Tom, is this normal or am I too picky? And I put a link to the YouTube video. Okay, so the same day Tom replied and said, K House, I watched the Mower Dog video, and I think he's just being nice because I really think he knows that's me. But anyway, his logic in setting up coins only program is fairly well thought out, yet I do not like any form of notch. Trust your ears. I have various types of coins that initially ID'd in the pull tab range, yet when you finally get your coil centered over the coin and you rotate your body at a proper angle that parallels the coin's tilt, it then clearly IDs as coin. So I'm not understanding that. So I'm a little confused on you'll have to watch that video first and then come back and see what the explanation is for it, and it's not making sense to me, and it's probably because my brain's not very big, but it just doesn't make sense. What I'm getting out of it is if you're using any kind of discrimination at all and not using your ears, then you're not detecting right. So always my question is, then why make these detectors with any discrimination? If every pro and professional goes out with a metal detector and uses any discrimination, then they're not running it right. So I challenge anybody to buy a $1,500 detector, run it completely wide open, no discrimination, and see how many coins they dig or how many relics they dig. And the only way I'll know you're doing it is show us, and then put a paper bag over the detector and show us your videos. And if you go out to a trashy park like me and Bill hunt, you would move about 6 feet in 8 hours and not dig anything worth of crap. So that's why we buy metal detectors that you can adjust the discrimination on. Otherwise, my theory is just buy a Tesoro Compadre and dig it all.